Good day. Today is Wednesday, the 6th of January, 2021. Um, so Monday we did, they do a long division. And then yesterday, of course, I've been having some issues with migraines. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I gave you that review assignment. So I pushed day 3 back to today. In addition, pushed the next assessment back to next Tuesday. So it was for the best without having to rush this down your throat. So today I'm just putting on a video today. Hopefully we'll get back to live classes tomorrow. I just need to get caught up. So the assignment today will have 4 examples and 2 questions, kind of like all these assignments have had. And there'll be another homework assignment tomorrow on the 7th, which will include both long division and what I introduced to you tomorrow as synthetic division. So without further ado, let's make sure I'm sharing the right document here. We're going to start with this warm-up problem where we divide x squared minus 12x plus 35 by x minus 5. So I'll be back to go over that. Okay, so I'm going to go over this with you a little bit slowly here. So the first thing is understanding that a trinomial is your dividend, which goes inside the box. It goes inside what we call the house, where we divide. X minus 5 is the divisor. And the first objective is to come up with a term when multiplied by x gives us x squared. So we're going to divide x squared by x. So x squared divided by x is x. That goes inside the box. Then apply the distributive property counterclockwise. The x times x is x squared. The x times minus 5 is minus 5x. Then we're going to subtract vertically. Change this to plus, minus, plus. These cancel, and negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7x. And we're going to bring down to 35 because the divisor has 2 terms. So then the next thing we want is to erase this. This is just, the next thing we want is a value when multiplied by x gives us negative 7x. So we have to divide clockwise. Divide negative 7x by x. That gives us negative 7. So let's see if we have a remainder. Negative 7 times x, negative 7x. Negative 7 times negative 5 is positive 35. And everything cancels. So we add going down. Everything cancels. And that's our answer. So you can either just circle this, that's fine, or if I just make this a little bit smaller, solution is we're going to say x minus 7. Okay. So in day 3, what we look at is simply it's become a little bit more complicated, but it's nothing you can't handle. All right, so like, this is going to help us in the next method we learn tomorrow, the synthetic division. So if you guys have had algebra 2, you should remember it from algebra 2, I was needing to say. So when we divide x cubed minus 1 by x minus 1, first of all, x minus 1 is the divisor, and x cubed minus 1 is the dividend. So the problem is if we start it like this, Okay, I'm going to show you why this is wrong right here. Because if I divide x cubed by x, I get x squared. But the problem is not that x squared times x is x cubed. It's that x squared times -1 is -1x squared. Okay, so the problem here is that -1 and -1x squared are not like terms. So we need what I call placeholders. Okay, so I'm just going to write that. A placeholder just basically indicates if we go backwards and we get rid of this, and we get rid of this for now, we're still going to start with this, but we're going to write x cubed minus 1 using placeholders. So we got the cubic term. You go from a cubic term to a constant, so you need a coefficient for the quadratic term. So we write that as 0x squared. 0x squared is a placeholder, and you need a placeholder for the linear term, which is 0x, and then we have -1. Okay, so that's what's meant by the placeholder. And then again, we're still going to start with x squared. We get x cubed minus x squared. We subtract vertically. So we got plus, minus, plus. So when we combine 0x squared and 1x squared, we get 1x squared. And then we're going to drop to 0x because you should have two terms because the divisor has two terms. And then from here, our next goal is to get rid of 1x squared. So we have to divide 1x squared by 1x, and that gives us x. That goes here. Distribute the x. X times x is x squared. X times -1 is -1x. So you're subtracting -1 from 0. That's going to end up being +1. We show it plus, minus, plus. And we got 1x. Bring down the -1. And now we just divide x by x. And that's +1. So here we got a +1. 1 times x is x. 1 times -1 is -1. So you got no remainder in this question. What you have up there looks like your quotient. So we're just going to show this. Cancel everything. So cancel, cancel. And plus signs go between these. So that's your quotient right up there. X squared plus x plus 1. Okay? So these first couple of examples are designed, I'm going to be completely honest, where you have no remainder. So try example 2. So when you set up example 2, you need placeholders for the dividend here too. Okay, so your placeholder, it's x minus 2. And then you go x cubed. And you need a placeholder for the quadratic term and for the linear term. Okay? So you can look at that, and I'll be back to go over that. Okay, welcome back. So first of all, your answer should be x squared plus 2x plus 4. So we'll go through it. First of all, I took x cubed and divided it by x. And got x squared. So that's what's here, okay? and then distribute x squared to x minus 2. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Then we subtract vertically. Okay, so we subtract, we add the opposites, and then you're left with 2x squared plus over here, bring down the 0x. And then take the 2x squared and divide it by x. We get 2x. That's what you see up here. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. Then we subtract going down. Okay, so we just change to the opposite. So that's why we end up with 4x here. So then the third step is to get rid of the 4x. So 4x divided by x is 4. Okay, not too hard. And then 4 times x minus 2 is 4x minus 8. And since they're exactly the same, they cancel. So we subtract or add the opposite, and everything cancels. So we're left with this as the quotient. So from here, we should transition to complete problem 1, which is exactly similar. You should not have any placeholders, any remainder. We'll show you that in examples 3 and 4. So I'll be back to go over problem 1. Okay, welcome back. So the quotient here should be x squared plus 4x plus 16. All right, so just to review it. Okay. We want to connect x cubed to x. So that quotient is x squared. That's what you see in here. Distribute x squared. X squared times x minus 4 is x cubed minus 4x. So then we subtract and then change to add vertically. We end up with 4 squared. And then secondly, we divide 4x squared by x. 4x squared divided by x. It's 4x. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times negative 4 is negative 16x. So subtract going down. So these cancel, and we're left with 16x. I should have drawn our arrows here, bring down. In the previous step, we brought down 0x. And here we bring down negative 64. And 16x divided by x is where the 16 up top comes from. So we see that. 16 times x minus 4 is 16x minus 64. So those cancel. Okay. So cancel everything out. We're left with x squared plus 4x plus 16. Okay. So let's kind of backtrack and go to what we do when we see this in here. You got 3x minus 6. You want to see how many times it goes into 3x cubed minus 9x minus 12. But we're going to skip. You go from x cubed to x, so you need a 0x squared as a placeholder for the quadratic term. And then we just kind of repeat the same procedure. So 3x cubed divided by 3x is x squared. X squared times 3x minus 6 is 3x cubed minus 6x squared. We're going to subtract vertically. We're going to change. And 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels. 0 and 6x squared squared. Bring down the minus 9x because your divisor has two terms. Now we divide 6x squared by 3x. And that gives you 2x. So that's going to go up top. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 6 is negative 12x. So we subtract vertically. Let's change the signs. So that 12 becomes a positive. So 12 minus 9 is 3x. And then bring down the minus 12. So we can see here that 3x minus 12 and 3x minus 6 aren't the same. So that means you have a remainder, okay? So 3x into 3x is just 1. And then we get 3x minus 6. You're going to get your remainder straight here. It's negative 12 plus 6. All right, so negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6. So that's your remainder. So when we write the remainder again, it's plus 6, plus negative 6 over the divisor. So let's write our answer down here. X squared plus 2x plus 1 with a remainder of negative 6. Okay. So number 4 is similar. So when you try example 4, two x plus 4, and it's 2x cubed plus 0x squared plus 8x minus 20. So I'll be back to go over that. Okay, welcome back. So here, 2x cubed divided by 2x is 1x squared. X squared times 2x plus 4 is 2x cubed plus 4x squared. And then we're going to subtract, change the signs. So that's why we get negative 4x squared. Take a 0 minus 4 is negative 4x squared. Bring down the 8x. And then nextly, negative 4x squared divided by 2x is negative 2x. That goes up here. Negative 2x times positive 2x is negative 4x squared. Negative 2x times 4 is negative 8x. So we just subtract going down. Set that in green. And then change this. So we got 16x. And bring down the minus 20. And then 16x divided by 2x is 8. So 16x over 2x is 8. 8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times 4 is 32. So 32 is positive, so you got to change it to a negative. So that is the correct remainder, negative 52. So it's negative 52 over 2x minus 4. Okay. So problem 2 on these has the same. Do the transition. Problem 2. All right, so let's just 2 here. Transition, and I transition professionally. I'm going to be very nice and make these videos very long. Everything. I don't mind doing it. So here we got 2x minus 4. And we got 2x cubed plus 6x squared. Now you notice here you go from 6x squared to minus 30. You need a 0x. This is where you need the placeholder. All right, so we should end up with 3 terms again. I think this one has a remainder. So 2x cubed divided by 2x to the first power is x squared. That goes up top. Okay. Distribute x squared times 2x minus 4 is 2x cubed minus 4x squared. So when we subtract, looks like we're going to have 10x because plus minus plus, so that's 10x squared plus 0x. 10x squared divided by 2x is 5x. Five x times 2x is 10x squared. 5x times negative 4 is negative 20x. And then subtract vertically. We have 20x minus 30. That's 0x. And then you get to divide 20x by 2x. So 20x divided by 2x is 10. Ten times 2x is 20x. 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. And then just change the operation. So your remainder looks like negative 30 plus 40 is 10. That's your remainder. So it's going to be plus 10 over 2x minus 4. So your final answer is x squared plus 5x plus 10 with a remainder of 10. Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And peace out, and I'll see you tomorrow on the 7th. Peace out.